The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone. Let us know if you can hear us fine and if you can see our screen. And we'll just start our webinar. And I'd like to hello everyone one more time and thank you for joining our webinar and hope you are having a wonderful day so far. So let us put these 20 minutes to a good use and see what we can suggest for boosting your team's performance and maybe improving the productivity of content production. My name is Alexandra, by the way, and and I'm helping the agencies to set up the content factory ecosystems.
And here is also Alena. I'm holding the communication with digital agencies within the partnership department. Together with you, we'll discuss new digital trends which are relevant in 2018. Find out what do clients expect from an agency, how to produce visually appealing interactive HTML5 content while making it easier to load, approve, and integrate with any kind of client CRM. And we will demonstrate in what ways this improvement can speed up all of your development processes.
Well, according to recent studies, the creation of more engaging content is the top priority for pharmaceutical industry. 44% of marketers claim that they have to hold regular daily or weekly meetings to discuss content assets because the life cycle of content is gradually but perpetually decreasing. And in this case, 92% of marketers are unable to meet their deadlines. And it's, as you understand, it's usually a very unpleasant thing, which we all face sometimes. And as we all know, well-tuned communication is what makes any process less time-consuming and more resultative. Well, agencies should look closer at those companies' working processes, namely how content production and management is organized in your customers' workflow.
Let's see in detail what are pharma's expectations exactly like. 93% of pharma and biotech companies admitted the volume of digital content is higher today than even 2 years ago. So for pharma industry, content is the king of building marketing strategy. Last few years, the pharma budgets on content development have vastly increased, while the life cycle of content has been dramatically decreasing.
And now the marketers are actually expecting more collaboration, productivity, and creative ideas from the agency. We know that for sure because we are also engaged in that process for 100%. Well, today pharma appreciates the speed and needs something more than just quality of content. Pharma needs flexible content that will be easy to adapt to different type of communicational channels like email, e-detailing for face-to-face meetings, as well as e-detailing for remote communication with doctors. And pharma is ready to increase the budget and invest more in content development to meet its customers' needs. So let's get closer look on digital challenges that agencies face in cooperation with pharma clients.
The good old customer retention rate is not just an indicator of how well you are doing. A certain stability in collaboration brings benefits to both pharma and agency. However, certainly not all agencies can boast of having a stable customer environment. If you look at this list of last year's 100 top performing digital content providers, they have quite impressive range of different channels and formats. At the same time, what puts those agencies on their radar is their ability to find their place within their pharma customers' digital ecosystems. In short, overcoming the sporadic chance-to-chance, project-to-project way of business is a challenge you can only solve by proving you can fit into the customer's ecosystems.
And as you see, another problem is meeting the deadlines. When you communicate with customer via email, phone, etc., a lot of time and important details are being lost. So how to win an approval management? Well, by setting up transparent communication within around content and under construction. While farmers are increasingly using content management systems that handle large amount of ready digital assets, think like Viva Vault, agencies are expected to come along and adopt platforms integrated with those systems. If these platforms allow to see existing and already approved content, it's already lowering the chance of excessive remarks if there is also the possibility to, let's say, leave comments inside the content itself.
Continuing the discussion about digital challenges, we should admit that too much effort wasted building basic things again and again. In essence, building content, for example, email templates or interactive HTML, initially from scratch is no longer a satisfactory option for anyone. Building from pre-designed blocks and templates saves a lot of effort for more projects.
Suppose your agency has several templates, a couple web page prototypes, a couple of interactive presentation stubs, and maybe some pre-cooked email layouts. This will need to be easily adjustable to meet the requirements, otherwise they'll fail at complying with their own branding guidelines. In order not to be trapped there and doing the elementary tasks anew for each project, why not make the customer's requirements define the general building blocks? Whenever there is a general template for some content used by your pharma customer, it should be adopted as the basis for further modifications.
By now, most agencies know pharma preferred channels and corresponding content types firmly by heart, e-detailing at rep visits, email campaigns, online meetings for HCPs, website, portals, microsites, social media, health apps, etc. However, just knowing that these are, or even having done a couple of projects for each of them, is not quite enough. Why that?
Because multi-channel is not about many channels. It's not about many channels. It's about cohesion and making those channels work in a harmony. When making an e-detailer, the perfect agency will bear in mind how that content will look in the context of other brand-associated assets. To get the clear picture of these contexts and solve this last issue, the agency should take care to integrate into the customer's company digital paradigm. As you see, this solution is recurrent. It not only ensures clearer, more efficient workflow, but also promotes understanding and trust between both sides.
What do pharma companies want from an agency? When pharma executives are looking at those lists of best agencies of this quarter, their decisions are still pretty much based on the fundamental question: can they provide the content quality that corresponds to our level? In life science, the quality of content is something closely linked to reputation. There is no such thing as viral but obviously underdeveloped content. Everything should look and feel professional in the most literal sense of the word and correspond to global brand strategy.
And also pharma requires to increase the speed of content development, adaptation, renovation, and localization process, because we are here in a very fast-moving world, and every message, every word we say, it can be changed very quickly. An agency needs some established workflow or platform that would allow for automating all the content production processes that would enable the agency to meet the market needs on time. However, there are a lot of factors that can slow down the process of digital development. For example, sometimes even the customers themselves have no clear understanding on how globally used assets are supposed to be localized according to their local market. They don't have that connection, and they cannot explain that to their vendors as well. On the other hand, slow-paced conversational approval process and lack of interactive communication are impeding and preventing the dynamic development of digital projects. And for you to know, or just having that from some research, 58% of marketing decision makers in a survey report, they have to go through review about 5 times, and 13% say it's 10 times and more.
Now, let's have a closer look on how agencies cooperate with pharma companies. In fact, here is a list of problems such cooperation faces throughout content development process. You can see the points indicated on the slide. No consolidated workflow, no standardized content, no single space for communication, and it's difficult to reuse or repurpose content.
And ideally, you can actually see how it should be. Well, probably you have also something to say in this case, because maybe from your point of view, it should be, it should look in other way. And all of these factors require consolidating effort on establishing a new type of cooperation between the client and the agency. A virtual space, and the best case, some kind of a platform, which would enable you to create, review, control, and use already approved presentations to enhance your speed and results. So, which tool can enhance digital development process and improve the collaboration with your clients? I'll say just 3 words, like Digital Content Factory. The suggested solution aims to connect customers, marketing teams, and the agencies in a unified content collaboration process. With purposefully integrated approval process, the collaboration when different vendors can work within one project, commenting and validation of digital content that can be easily optimized, as the creators and reviewers are able to see the comments live interactive content available under one share link and no static PDFs.
So, by using Digital Content Factory, you can create, adjust, localize, review, approve, or reuse content via a single platform. With Digital Content Factory, you can easily bridge the gap between different offices of single pharma company and streamline your content flow. Even in case the headquarters and affiliates are located on different continents, this factor simply stops being an issue. You now have access to a common media library and are able to create and reuse all previous digital assets and templates. Just picture that you won't need to wait until someone types tons of comments via email or depend on lengthy text translation for localization. Imagine that all the processes are so transparent that you are notified immediately about possible improvements to the content, be it even legal or medical advisors.
Or also different notifications about anybody who is working under your project and doing anything with your presentation, publishing, pushing it to the market or everything like that. And now let's have a closer look on the most popular requests from pharma to agency. The first trends, you can see three trends, like templates, automation of work, and integration with the systems. The first trend that pharma requests from agency is establishing a content templates approach in their work. What does it mean? Templating approach unites creative, development, and localization agencies. Very handful. A master template is a globally approved branded presentation or email wireframe with projected content, structure, menu, controllers, and navigation, containing global guidance for KPI manifesto and naming convention. And with this templating approach at hand, agency can effortlessly comply with client's brand strategy, presentation, like presentation structure, logo, fonts, color scheme, images, because they have everything already. They can adapt and optimize and work further with everything needed and developed within this template. For example, this year, email templates are growing especially popular among both marketers and their audience. And pharma regularly orders different types of email templates for various situations. It could be like welcome emails, follow-up emails, emails describing clinical studies, or just webinar invitations. Every type of them has its own structure and goal. Why then not to use that? And second trend, which is quite crucial for pharma marketers, is content localization and adaptation across channels. Because a company doesn't need just to spend a lot of money and to repeat that budget from country to country. When they have the presentation developed, they just need to localize it across the offices. So agencies should fully adapt the digital assets to the regional market requirements and make sure that all of the elements correspond to the international brand strategy. And around 52% of companies are already planning to increase the share of their content internalization budgets are allocated to external content production and third-party translations. And in fact, pharma companies are selecting their localization partners right now based on several criteria. First of all, in brief, they want a common platform to manage all of the localization processes, because for them, afterwards, when all of the processes are done within one platform, they can measure that and all of the efforts devoted to that. And third must-have for an agency is a full integration of digital projects with most popular CRM and CLM systems pharma companies use. And as you know, in order to create the content, for instance, for Viva, you need a special type of certification. We will, we will talk a little bit further about ways how to get that certification and create content for Viva easier.
Let us give you some tips on how to be fully prepared to work with pharma and double the productivity. On this slide, you see the key points that are of great importance for pharma marketers. So, in your offer, you should demonstrate that you have special skills, tool or platform in profession that automate and speed up content production according to the pharma's global strategy requests.
First, show them that you can store all digital assets in one space. It means your agency can quickly grab the necessary global template or media and proceed with either editing the ready-made presentation or creating a new one from scratch on the basis of the approved digital content.
Secondly, demonstrate you can easily translate and adapt the materials to the local market and do it faster than others via using automated translation system. Another important thing for pharma to speed up content development is ability to convert static digital assets like PDF, PowerPoint, InDesign files to CLM ready format.
Because when the company is going digital and they have emerging markets that have been using a lot of static materials previously, you don't need just to throw them away and spend the budget to redevelop that. You can just use them for creating the presentation, just converting that. And of course, a very valuable factor to pharma companies remains saving time and meeting the deadlines. Show that you can cut down production time with the redesigned templates. Demonstrate that you can create and design a number of templated slides and elements to simplify and accelerate the presentation creation.
With the data becoming even more crucial for understanding customers' needs, shows that you have already mastered how to set up different types of KPIs. Also, show how you can optimize and make review and approval process transparent by using the workflow that will connect you and pharma in a single co-working space and speed up approval process.
Top agencies cooperating with pharma have already been using a special platform to enhance their digital development processes. You can check the market and find the most suitable systems for you. And if you are interested in trying out what we suggest for that eWizard platform, we prove that with our customers that it can speed up the development up to 4 times, and it is actually used right now by global pharma on multiple occasions and levels. So do not hesitate to contact us. We will gladly show all the advantages of its usage.
As we mentioned before, one of the main requests from pharma to their agencies team is to have a digital platform for content production and management that is fully integrated with pharma's CRM and CLM systems. For example, the majority of pharma companies use Veeva system to manage their digital assets. For the agencies, this means that they should create projects and use the solutions that would be fully integrated with Veeva system.
And here we have actually a special proposition. Our company is an official partner of Veeva across the world, with our eWizard framework being fully integrated into Veeva system. Participate in our certification program. Choose the type of certificate according to your agency priority service, like development, localization, KPI, distribution to multiple distribution to the platform, and other types. And as you can see actually on the slide. and train your team, pass examination, and receive the accreditation to create digital content compatible with Viva and other popular systems. We are using our integrated eWizard framework, because actually in eWizard you can create everything from scratch and distribute it up to the uploading and pushing into the customer's CRM system. Well, this is mostly everything we wanted to say. Thank you very much for your attention. If you are interested in certification program, please contact us by email, and our team will gladly discuss with you all of your interests, and will show you the demo and so on. And actually, like now we are...
Now we invite you for the demo part of our webinar to show you how it all actually works.
So I just wanted to show you how we can go through this process of like going from taking the presentation shared by your, for example, marketing manager, how to get it easily, how to reuse it, how to send it for localization, and let's do it very quickly in just like in few steps. So you can actually see the eWizard platform login page. I'm going to sign in into the platform, and you can see that right now we are into the account with which I'm usually like working. I'm having some presentations here in stock, and I can see them clearly. I can preview them. I can work with them further in any moment. But right now, for example, I've got the request from the pharmaceutical customer to reuse the presentation created in other market. I have the access to the global store. So this is the place where the approved materials, approved branded materials are kept. And for example, I remember that, well, I know, not just remember, that they wanted to reuse Colicap presentation. Actually, I can search displays for the needed presentation for using different filters. Like the keywords, statuses, publisher, region. If because usually displays can contain up to, I don't know, 5,000 of assets or more, depending on the company. Let's just search it for name. For the name, Colicap. Yeah, and this is my presentation. And what is very easy here, I can preview it right away. So clicking the presentation, I can see some information actually about this presentation, like that this was made and published at the global level, the region, the language, the market, the version. I can preview it. So to make sure this is the presentation I need. I can preview it with all of the interactivity, actually, what is very handy. If we have like some doubts on, or to know whether this is the presentation I needed, and like to try everything here as well. So I'm sure this is the presentation I want to reuse. So I'm just clicking Add to my library button. So we have the notification that the presentation is successfully added. I return to my account. And I can see that presentation have been added into my account. Also, first of all, I want to make sure that this is, I can make sure that this is the presentation that my manager was wanted actually to get localized. So I can send it for review, and I can adapt it actually. So I'll make some changes here. I'll go to the structure, and I can see that this presentation is quite short. Let's make it a bit bigger and to enhance it. Let's call it new chapter. And let's copy some slides to make some changes. I'll just make some copies and drag it to the new chapter. Okay, saving the changes. And I will be making some changes already in the new chapter, because, for example, I want to create some new profile for this patient, for example. First of all, I have the page where I can edit the slide to its full extent. First of all of the elements here are editable, which is quite handy, because I don't have, for example, if these changes are not very difficult, sufficient, or they could not take a lot of time, I can do them by myself. And I don't need to think about the source code or everything. I just need to work with the presentation. And I go to the tree, components tree here. And for example, I'll choose to change the color of these buttons, because it's too gloomy, I think. Styles. I'll change it to something brighter, but of course usually we have some requirements for that. I'll change the color for the second button quickly, and I'll change this color as well. Yeah, I think it's fine. Saving, reviewing. Okay, I think for me it's fine. And now I will send this version with like graphic changes for approval quickly, to get like a quick approval for continuing the work. I'll find the manager I need. I'll set up the deadline for this review like today. In the description, I'll put preliminary approval and send. Usually also we can choose different like few people for this approval, and we can choose whether a single approval is sufficient for like continuing the work with this presentation. So right now the presentation, this version of the presentation have been sent for approval, but I want to continue working with it and continue working on localization. That's why I'm creating a copy of this presentation, just not to stop the work. I choosing an option create localization for let's say Italy, target language also Italian, create. So for us to have continue working on Italian localization for this presentation, clicking the button edit localization, and we easily get to the window where we can see all of the English texts in the left column and all of the all of the fields for Italian text in the right column. But I don't want to edit this myself. I'm not a person who is in charge. I will send this for localization. We can do localization here actually like via 3 channels: online, offline, and via Transperfect. Online, if we do it here by our hands, also when we send this for localization to the, for example, the translator inside of our company, we'll put, let it be Helen again, we indicate the person, we use the email, we can protect the link via password and set the expiration date, but I think it will be fine. Actually, we can access this link, and you can see that the person who is getting the link getting the same kind of window. He can work here. He can work directly here. When it is done, he can just click the button, finish the localization. And also, this localization is right now in the, you can see that it has the status that it's being localized. And localization actually can be done also by downloading the Excel file with all of the texts and uploading when it's done. So Excel file is also like looks the same. It has just the text, left column English variant and the right column Italian. And you can just import this file here and all the text will be localized. Well, when the localization is done, actually, you can send it for local. You can actually adapt the pictures and so on, and send it again for approval. And this is pretty the same, pretty all I wanted to show you today. If you're interested in more extended demo on the whole functionality, like how you can create the presentation from the scratch, how you can set up KPI here, how can you, for example, work with the development framework for creating like some sophisticated things, just contact us. And thank you very much for attention, guys, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you very much for your time, and we hope it was interesting for you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.